Hello everyone, today I'm again back with a new tutorial to use Overpass Turbo and the data of the OpenStreetMap in a leaflet in our web map. So what we are going to do is this is a query, but we are not going to download into GeoJSON and use it in our map, but we are accessing it directly through our JavaScript. First of all, I will create a new base map with a layer controller. So for that, I am going to use, I have used this GitHub Copilot. So it is making me more easy, like it makes my tasks easy. So add a new base map. So it will automatically create a new base map, but I don't want this one, but I want a stamen map, stamen base map, and it will create a stamen base map for me. So it will be added to the map when I save it, and I can see the stamen map now. So I have to use the layer controller to control which map to display. Okay, so what I'm doing is uh, add a layer control. So it will use this layer control. So control.layers. So I have to use this stamen and OSM uh, as my mm, as the values. Yeah. So what it will use is these two maps in layer controller. So here is it layer controller. So now I can see here is stamen and OSM. I can switch between it. So what I need to do is now I am going to add a new base map. uh, I am going to use a new base map for this leaflet overpass. So what it has told is to use the dist use this JS bundle overpass JavaScript and CSS. uh, uh, so you can download it from here. You go here and go to the raw. So this is the website for this. I will also put it in a link, so you can just save as and save it in your folder. So I have already saved it, so I won't save it again. But I haven't used the CSS, so I will use its CSS uh, and download it. So I'm going here. I think I have also downloaded it already. Save as. Yeah, it is also already downloaded overpass layer. So now we can use this JavaScript inside our index.html. So I have already used this script. So you can use this script to use this one overpass layer bundle, and another script for the CSS. So I have used this one for the CSS. After that, you can go to the main.js and you can add the following code. So I have in the tutorial, in the documentation, they have mentioned to include these things in your um, JavaScript. So I am going to use this in my JavaScript. What the thing is that I had already declared this map in the top, so I won't uh, do it again. And the second thing is I wanted to use a node and a bounding box, uh, but I need to look at my tutorial again. Mm. So in the query, in this layer, we are just removing this. We are creating our own. So what it will do is These are just new tile layer, nothing, nothing much. So uh, I think this is also not that much important. Um, but yeah, because we are creating a new uh, layer like this. So I think it's also important. So I will write some comment, create a create overpass layer, sorry, layer with the forest or drinking water. Um, Query with Germany bounding box. So it will create a bounding box. So it will create a overpass layer. Inside it, it will create a amenity as a bounding box. Uh, Amenity as a drinking water, and inside bounding box we are going to use the coordinate of our Karlsruhe, where I'm living right now. So inside this where I am going to remove this bounding box, and I am going to use coordinate. So 91190, and then another coordinate will be 8.405 68, and another coordinate will be, you I think it will work not, because it will require some length of longitude or latitude, maybe I'm not sure. So, and the last one is, so I will use one. If you use larger bounding box, it will create error. I will also show that la- in the later section. Minimum zoom will be 15, and the callback function will be, it will take the data uh, and then return the pop-up. The pop-up content will be the feature. If the prop name is amenity, so it will also create a pop-up with its values, and I will create a street, so I won't do other things, and at last I will add it to the map. I don't think I will need these streets, because I'm just using the amenity for now. Okay, so I will return the content, and then the function will be created, which will create a circle marker of radius 5 using its lat long, and the color will be fill color, and everything will be written by this. On each feature, when clicked, it will create a bind pop-up. So we are going to close it, and then at last we will add it to the layer. Okay, so overpass layer and add it to the map. So I don't need this, so I'm going to remove it, and let's save it and see if there is something we can see, like when you click it. Yeah, the new layer is not added because we have not used that thing in our so we are going to use this add control at last here, and we are going to use overpass layer as overpass layer. So save it and see the result. uh Why it's creating two? I think I did not delete it, that one. Okay, I forgot to remove this one, so I saved it. And I see here the Overpass Turbo, Overpass layer is created, stamen and OSM and Overpass is created. So when I go inside, there is some error because I should see some layers over here. So what does it says is the server responded with the status of 400 bad request. Okay, so here is bad request. So we have to solve that. Here are some more codes to write. So okay, and let's save it and see if everything is okay. This is bad request again. Third JSON. So we are just using its data, but we have to use GeoJSON for that. So in the callback, I am not going to do this pop-up things. I'm removing it. Okay. So in this, I will return el.geojson and I will call data. So the data will be, I will create a point to layer, so it will take the longitude and latitude and return the circle marker. Okay, so where is the problem now? Let's save it. This bracket is closed, this bracket is closed, we need another bracket here and maybe this one. This bracket is closed, this is closed, that one is closed, and this one is closed. Still showing error. This is closed, closed. This one okay, this one okay, this one okay, this is okay, and this is also okay, but where is the error? I could not find. So we can see the error in 47, line 47. So it's not needed or what? So I'm going to remove it first, and okay, so now it's working. And also let's see if the overpass is working or not. Again, there is a bad request. It might be the problem because of this longitude and latitude. So I'm going to use geolation.io and take the longitude and latitude as these numbers, and I will just send some values over there. So it will be here, and I will write it this and copy it again here. So this will be 41, and in the another one, copy this again, paste it here, again paste it here, and 0 1 0 2. Okay, then save it and see if it's creating the same problem. It's creating the same problem. Okay, I think this bracket should not be there. Mm, yeah, and this bracket should not be here. Uh, so save it again and see if it's working. Yeah, now it's working. So the request is valid. We can see the amenity as the drinking water. Uh, also, because it is showing in a small place, there is only one value we can see. So I will just increase its number or increase its bounding box. So I will create here 6 and 04 2 and save it again, and still I cannot see a large sense. So I will create here 9, or I can change it to 5, save it. CSS is not working. Why? Overpass CSS cannot, you cannot get overpass CSS that map. Mm, there is problem with the CSS. So when I click here, it's working fine. Let me introduce the CSS here and save it. Still it's not working, but we can see only one map, only one layer is there. So I will just change it to other things like restaurant. In the amenity I will use restaurant. So I save it and see the result again. I can see too many restaurants over here. Okay, so we can click and see its data, like the name, source, and opening hours and everything. So in this way we can create data from the OpenStreetMaps data and use it in our web map using Overpass Turbo. But this is and for example, we can use different layers for different map. Like we have used Overpass, but I will write it to the restaurants, and I will change I will use this as a restaurants, and then I will also write it as a restaurant, and then also here, and also we can use the same kind of map again, copying this and create a new layer uh, with a node as a shopping center. But I have to look at it first, how to create that one, and also adding here the restaurant and shopping center here, and then shopping center dot add to map, and again we go here and write as a shopping center as shopping center, and then save it. And we cannot see anything because there is some problem now. We can see overlap over overpass layer is not defined in this case, so it cannot add to uh, in which line is the error? 85. Overpass layer. No, that this is not overpass layer. Um, but it's a restaurant, yeah. So restaurant.add map, and we can see uh, the different layers. Uh, this one, I don't know. It is a restaurant, and but it's shopping center. Why it came under this map? Shopping center. I have to go again to the inspect if that is the node has been. So we can see that shopping center in OSM query. So node. Okay, I will use here in the Overpass Turbo as a wizard, and I will use shopping center and query build. This doesn't works. Query build. This doesn't work. Shopping mall. Query build. This also doesn't work. So what else? Library. Query build. Okay, library. Amenity equals to library. So instead of shopping center, we are not editing it, but we are just editing here. So library, and save it, and let's see in the map again. We can see in the shopping center we have library, so fact bibliothek physics. There is only one library. Here are some libraries in here. So we can see Cobb Bruder Clause library. Here we can see Start Bibliothek library. So in this way, we can see the different layers. So if we want to go to the restaurant, so it should be visible at 15 level layer. So I'm going to zoom in and go to the restaurant again. But this is the restaurant, yeah. I also tried with the mm, small roads. If I could get the small roads out of it, I did not get that chance. But so I will try it in this tutorial. Um, Street. So I'm going to build query, but it will create a street as. So I'm going to the documentation, and I'm going to use street. Mm, Type way. Highway equals to residential, and type is a way. So let's type it away here, but nothing is there. Highway equals to star, and type is way. Let's try by this way and run query uh, and run it. Let's see what would it give us the result. It's taking long time because there are a lot of data. So I am going to dismiss it. Is already dismissed. So I am going to zoom in some areas and then run this. So it gives a way of this area. So if we use this way as a highway, we can see all the data of these layers, but I think it won't. Yeah, the time will be out. The There will be timeout, so we have to introduce some wait function for that, and let's see if that works. So way will be highway in our code instead of node. Um, so what was before way equals to highway? Mm, yeah, and what I'm trying to do is again source of drinking water and run it. So it is node, yeah. So we are just going to use way, and then here uh, highway. Okay, so in the shopping center layer, it must be highway layer, but I don't think it can give us the good result. Mm, what is this? This is a canteen. So I'm going to see in the shopping center. Yeah, there will be bad requests, I'm sure. Not bad requests, but too many requests. Cannot read the properties of undefined. Latitude. Mm, bounding box. Is there any problem with the bounding box? No. Drinking water and I'm going to write a new code for this. Maybe that might help. Let's write it as a library. So I close it. Restaurant, instead of restaurant, I'm going to use library to make it clear. Library, and here library, and here also library, and in this code also library. Um, Now we can save it and see if everything is good. In the restaurant, we can see just this layer. In the library, we can see there are 3 layers. Okay, so this point to layer is not working well, I think. The feature, what is feature? Mm, let's see, add a geojson layer. And the feature will be, okay, it should use that feature inside this uh, layer bind pop-up, yeah. So it is going to use this return and point to layer, and in the property um, pop up with the name of drinking water. So bind pop up, not this one. So we will do it later in the next tutorial. But what I'm trying to do is just add this JSON if it's working. I don't know what it's trying to do. The example of JSON, so we can see might be in somewhere around this globe. No, this is not working because there is no any layer. So we are going to remove this at JSON. But what we are going to do is add the streets from OSM to map. So not from Turbo, Overpass Turbo layer to the map. Um, so it did not understand. Create a new overpass layer with a road of streets. Okay, so new layer will be called with a name called highway. So 49 it won't, I think it will also do the same. So I'm going to use its code and then add it to the map. So let's see. So again I'm using this streets and write it comma here and save it again. Now I can see the streets over here. So I zoom it. I cannot see anything because there is some problem. Cannot read the properties of undefined. I think there is problem with getting the I'm trying to panorama view. So I think there is problem with this overpass leaflet overpass layer. What we are going to do is see its documentation clearly. What are the options? Query is node, so it has only used the node. We are going to paste that problem here, so there is no any issues. Leaflet bad performance with overpass marker too many layer error. So none of these requests has been worked. None of these requests has been solved properly. So I am going to use another if there is another library. I just use this one. So show a leaflet layer using OpenStreetMap from check demos. I will check demo first. If it's the same, so if I click the trees, I can see the trees in this place and its data. So I think it's working fine. And if there is a okay, I click the bicycle route. I can see the routes over here. Okay, it's working fine. So maybe I can use this layer, but um, with a different type. Um, is that GitHub? Okay, so I will overpass 14 together query. Okay, yeah, this is the query. They are writing this uh, on the basis of the HTML. When clicked, it will send the data uh, to the overpass like this one. Yeah, they pass the data and the time gap, and they also use the effort per request, so every map will be loaded. Mm, I think it's a bit difficult to implement it quickly, uh, but I will do first and then make a tutorial about it. So I'm not using it, but I will just start it and do it later. So the issues has not it been um, issues is not implemented well. So overpass turbo leaflet GitHub. I'm going to see sorts other thing if there is any. Mhm. So let's see. Follow the mouse. Oh, this is nice. Mm, so yeah, I will just see the request uh, in the source in the network, maybe all the data, and I can see uh, the request over here. It has created its own leaflet, so I think it's not possible again. Mm, but I am going to see how they write the it's not the same like we had done it before. Yeah, so I will start it again, start it, and I'll move it to the another tutorial. Um, I think I have got what I wanted in my map because I can use my um, own query now, maybe. So I'm going to use their code uh, inside my code. So I am going to copy this and paste it. So this is the web link for that. Uh, I'm going to create a CSS and paste the style as it and save it. And first, I have already linked that CSS, so it won't create any problem. In the map, it has created a leaflet control container. So in that, they had created a query text, so it the value is laden means download. So I am just copying it and I will use also inside a map, but uh, my map is this one, so I am going to use this inside this map. Mm, After this, I'm using their script. If leaflet.js is okay, jQuery is okay, so I'm just only going to store this. First, I'm going to download this OSM to GeoJSON. Uh, for that, I have to go here and inside the libs OSM to GeoJSON library. I'm going to draw and save it in my folder. After that, inside HTML again, I am going to write a script to us. So it will be what was the name? OSM to geojson.js. Okay, so save it and then go back here. So this is also okay now. And in so I have already used that download button, so I can see here the download button, but I can make it here a little bit lower. So um, control padding, I will use a padding as 40 pixel. So save it. Uh, I think I have to make it here 50 pixel. Okay, let's see. There is no any problem for this. So instead of laden, I am going to use load in here. And in the query text, the default value will be laser playground. So the value will be laser playground. So when I load it, the playground values should be loaded. Yeah, for that, here is a code which I should add in my map. This is already done, so I don't need this. So I am going to use in the maybe create a new map, or I can do it in the street. Okay, I'll do it in a street. So I copy this function and then paste it in the main.js. Um, so I'm not going to add uh, just remove this. um, I will copy this OSM, but where I have used this. Let's see. Just copy this and use the map, and the result will be from the query, and it will add it to this. So we can also see it when we debug it. So I am going to copy everything and add to the map. But before adding to the map, uh, it will be added to the main map. So bracket will be closed again. So save it and see the result. I can close it. I can close it. So in here, in this map, there is a problem. Oh, yeah, this has been loaded. The laser has been loaded. We can see, but there is a problem with street is not defined. Okay, street is not defined. So what is the new name of this? Uh, yeah, we have added to the main map. So I will just remove this street and save it, and I can see the data already, which is from the library, which is from the restaurant or library, which I had already discussed. But I am using the OSM map, base map, and I'm going to add the leisure as a playground inside this area. Okay, so the bounding box it will create will be this bounding box, and load this. So these are the maps we can see. So it won't create outside of it. So when we click here, it is a playground. So it is a playground. It is a playground, and we can also add more information. Okay, so I'm going to use, instead of leisure, way equals to, no, amenity equals to restaurant. Okay, so I'll load this. So these are the restaurants we can see, which are loaded from uh yeah, this has some problem. We can see it because it's when clicked, okay, it's also loaded, but it has too many data. We can see every data inside it. So I am going to use another thing like water or a road. So what to do with the road? uh, I'm going to wizard again and street and build query. So a highway should be primary, but I have used node inside it. Um, let's see. Yeah, this has used node, and if it's a way query, it will use a, corresponding way query. But how it would know we created a way query or node query? That is the problem. Let's see. So this will add all these queries, and if not, it will just add 0. It will add null. Okay, so our node query way query will be in this map, mm, highway. So I will load this and see if it will be loaded or not. I think it's taking long time. Yeah, maybe I have to zoom a little bit and load it again. For example, I will go to the console and then in this I'm going to see the query and the result query. So I click here. um, the query will be created like this. So it it says that the node is highway, so it is not the right way of writing. I think it's not a node, it's a way. Yeah, way is highway. mm, way is highway. way is Highway is primary. Okay, so I think this one is the good way of writing the query. Yeah, this also loaded. This is also loaded, but it takes a bit time. uh, I am going to reload it, and I am going to use um I am going to zoom it and write it here, highway. So I can query this highways here. You can see in the OSM map, and when I click it, I can see its data. And also maybe I can also uh, write cycleway and query it again. But maybe this doesn't work, so I will go here again in the wizard and write cycleway and build query. Bicycle rental, okay, build query. And if there is any rental, bicycle renter inside Karlsruhe or any other place, I can query like this. First I will go to my location, and then I will search in my location if there is any data of bicycle renting. Yeah, there are some of datas like bicycle renting. So these are KBB network, KBB bike, KBB next bike, KBB next bike, um, like that. Yeah. So these are the places for the bike renting. In this way, we can use uh, different kind of query to load different kinds of data. Okay, so what I am now trying to do is making this symbol little beautiful. Let's see if I can make it or not. So the style, uh, the color will be this one, but I am going to not not use this style, but I am going to use the point to layer and convert it to the circle. Okay, so after I save it, and when I load the laser, I can see the symbol has been changed now to the circle. Okay, and also mm, if I make it a bit opacity of 0.5 and size of this a little bit bigger and load it, I can see a better view of that. Yeah, so I can also use again the highway and load it. Highway takes a little bit long time, and if we don't introduce any this waiting, because it waits for, I think there are some code that makes it wait for the layer to be downloaded. Let's see that in the query. Yeah, yeah. The way too many requests, so it's not possible. So I'm going to zoom again a little bit and load it again. Yeah, we can see the highway now. So I'm going to inspect it and see how this code works. So when I click highway, yeah, it has used the query as data out XML and timeout as 25 second. Mm, which is in mm, number 94. Yeah, here. So we can also use a higher timeout, but uh, it it will cause some problem because the user won't know what is the problem. Like they won't wait for long, and they won't know the thing that you have to wait for 25 seconds. So when I click this, query has been created like this. The bounding box is created automatically by using what it has used for the bounding box. Query and listen query. Yeah, bounds. It has used the bound, I think. Yeah, these values. So what it got is it got the map and it get the bound and then get the south and also west and north and east, and it gets the four coordinates. And then in the overpass query, or no, in the overpass query it's highway. The name we have passed is highway. For example, in the HTML, uh, we have passed here, in this value we have used highway, and it will be sent to the build overpass API URL. So when this is called, this overpass API URL is called, I think somewhere. Mm, yeah, this one is called here. So when the query button is clicked, this function will be called, and this function map will be added as one parameter, while query text value field will be added as another parameter, which is the data from that query text field, which I showed you just now, query text field. So the data of that text field, for example, highway, is passed into here, and the map will be passed here. So after that, this function will be called, and it passes that value over here and here, and other things will be done as required. So first, also in order to see that um, the function how the function works, we are going to use this one and then reload it again. I'm not going to use this as a, so I'm going to load it. The first thing is that it got stuck in this point because there we have already used the default query as leisure background. So we are just going to run it and nothing will be there. So when I load it, uh, it will get the bound of this map. First, when it's clicked, it should show something. This is inside the function. So this function in the overpass query, uh, leisure background will be added, but the field is added just here. We have to see how it works. So in the bound there is a coordinate. In the node query, it has a node leisure playground, and then the coordinate bound coordinate, and then in the way query it's I think empty, or way query is also the same, so it will take both the nodes and way. In the relational query also the same, and it will create a query to get the data. So the query will be that, and it will be appended to the base URL. The base URL is this Overpass API interpreter. So after passing this, the base result URL will be this one. So when we go inside this, uh, maybe we can copy this and see inside this. So remove this and then go to the first and then hit enter. We can see it gets downloaded. So it means that our query is good and it's working. And then we go again to the next, and it will get, why this is not showing anything. I will just write here some restaurants, load it. Yeah, the thing is, it should have called this overpass API URL function first and pass these two values. One is the restaurant and one is map. So it passes the restaurant and map, and then if we also click somewhere here, I am going to reload it again, um, and read right here as a restaurant and load it, and it it when it is called, when this build overpass is called, it will pass into this function, and then it will resolve the URL, and this URL will be passed here, maybe overpass, yeah, and will be passed here, and the function will create a XML file, and this XML file will create uh, these XML files. Let's see what is inside this XML file. Uh, we cannot see why. It is a library from this code, so we don't have to see that. But what is inside this OSM data as XML? I don't know how this get works. So I will click this and click here. Okay, now we can see OSM data as XML. So it contains the data like XML document. Let's see what is inside this. Mm, I cannot read it well. I don't know how to read XML. Mm, if you know how to read this XML, please let me know. Okay. So this function will be called now, which I had downloaded in the library. Uh, where is it? I think inside leaflet. I will also put the link of that GitHub. So I have used the library of where is that? I think this not this one. Where did I put that? We can see that in this visual code. So the this is the library OSM to GeoJSON. So it will go inside this function now, and it will uh, convert the XML to GeoJSON. So let's see what it has created is a GeoJSON. You see here the feature type and collection of array. So we can again see in the feature we have geometry, coordinates, and some arrays. In the properties, we can see the tags, ID, and everything. So after that, when we click next, it will create a layer which will take the GeoJSON, and it will convert that layer, that point. It is not layer, but it is a point data. If it's a point data, it will create a layer and convert it into the circle marker. And then if it's a multi-point, so it will do it by itself. So don't, it's not of use. So there is one problem now. What is that problem is, if we created a point to layer, the um, road or highway would not be uh, seen. I think if it's true or not, let's check it. In the highway is seen, so not a problem. But what would it do in this section? So I will again load it and go point to layer. What it would do in the point to layer? So it goes inside it, and then and convert to XML, XML to GeoJSON, and result layer to, and return the circle, and add to the map. Okay, it has used this data. So if it's not relevant, I think it will just use its own data. Point to layer. And how can I change that data? This one, yeah, this one, yeah. Point to layer. Mm, if this doesn't work, what can I do? If the result is a point, create a circle marker. I'll just remove this for now. Oh, I'm going to remove this. Point to layer. So I will write it here. Else create a line or polygon. If it's a line, so it will check if it's a line string and it will create a color, else it's a polygon, it will set a style and fill the color and then publish its result. Mm, so if it's a polygon, so yeah, I don't need to write this because it's already written, yeah. Like if it's polygon or undefined or point, it will just write it by itself. But I'm just trying to do one more thing. Dot filter. What was it before? I I forgot what was it before. In the filter, there was comma, yeah. Okay, let's say everything is okay, and then I will stop the video for today. So in the laser, it's okay. We can see the data. Also, I want to see if the data contains some other values uh, in the debugging part. So I'm going to load it. I will see the GeoJSON. Not not this one. I want to see restaurant. Mm, yeah, I want to see this one and see if there is any other data. No, uh, just run this. Return. Sorry for the long video because I'm also confused in some case. So it will create a GeoJSON layer, and inside GeoJSON I'm going to see its property, and in the property in the geometry there are 9 arrays. I wanted to see if there is any other data than in the properties. Yeah, where is properties? There is no any. Yeah, there is properties, and there I think there are no other data. Because I wanted to make a proportional symbol for that by using that data, but it's not possible right now. So in this way, I'm going to close this tutorial for today. So I hope you enjoyed and learn a lot from this tutorial. So thank you so much. Bye bye for today.